Well, I'd hoped I wasn't going to have to make a couple little changes to the sway bar up here, but you know, I'm driving down the road and it kind of wanders a little bit. It's like it doesn't have a really good on-center feel. But the steering's actually pretty tight, so it's not the steering, so it's got to be coming from some of the geometry changes that are associated with that sway bar. So when you get your topline kit, they send you these bushings right here. Sway bar bushings, they have, if I can show it right, they have an off-center hole for the sway bar, and the idea being that when you take the car and it's got a sway bar that kind of goes out in this direction, and you drop it, the sway bar goes like this. So when you drop that, the strut, which sits like this, has a tendency to slide back this direction. Now you don't want it sliding back that direction, you want it to be more in this direction. So this compensates for some of that by taking the entire assembly and pulling it forward a little bit so that you go from being tilted this direction. I can show it. Instead of being tilted this way, you get tilted back more that direction. And I mean, it is subtle. What is that? Maybe I can't be any more than about it's an eighth, maybe 3/16 of an inch. So, but you can't do much more than that. Otherwise, this becomes so thin on this edge that well, it's not really bushing anymore. Anyway, I got the car jacked up and got to crawl under there and disconnect some stuff that's never, as far as I know, it's never been disconnected. So I got to get to a few screws, a few bolts under here. Hang on. Well, this stuff came apart. Well, it unscrewed so easy on this side, I thought I'd see if I couldn't film while simultaneously doing some of this stuff. Absolutely no problem whatsoever over here. I wonder if it's going to loosen up on the other side. Hang on. Let's take a look at this side. There it is. Alright, let's get this one done. There we go. That wasn't too terribly bad. Oh, this side's tight, man. This side's tight. Wow. Alright, anyway, we've got that. So, I'm not going to do both sides at the same time because I don't want the suspension to fall on me. Alrighty, I got that stuff out of the way. So, let's have the removal of this thing. Let's take a look at this. Okay, it's not the best in the world. Hey, it's 45 years old. Before I put this one in, I thought I'd show you next to the original. And oh, this is a quality part. But wow, what happened to this thing? Either this thing right here was larger than this to begin with, or 45 years it's like sucked up atmosphere and just become huge. Atmosphere and road debris, it just swells up. Geez, this side's kind of messy. It's got all kinds of liquidy looking grease and stuff on it. I don't know what that's about. Nothing up here seems to be leaking. It must be left over from like decades ago. Alright, install's done. Got it cleaned up. Got my hands pretty dirty down under here. Lava soap, great stuff. That's what I use. Anyway, make sure you get the fat edge over there, the skinny edge over here that pulls the sway bar this direction. So, that side's good, that side's good. Got everything tightened up. I also looked a little bit at my assemblies back in this area. And everything's hanging in. I don't see anything weird so far. So, I'm going to put it back on the ground. Of course, we have to test drive it, so that's next. Okay, let's get it fired up. A little power, neutral, push button start. Ooh, usually starts right up. Yeah, it rocks around like it's a monster motor, but it's not. let's get out before it gets really wicked hot today. Don't think I left anything under the car. Doesn't appear so. Everything's tightened up. Alright, this is going to have to be a highway run. Left myself a little bit of gap here at the end. I gotta tell you, I think that's considerably better. Unlike my transmission oil change where I just kind of went, nah, it's all about the same. You know, that's going to be like a long-term thing, but this is noticeable right off the bat. You know, I feel a lot more comfortable driving this thing out here. So I took it out to the two-lane undivided highway, which I usually don't do. This car was wandering around too much. Plus, I don't trust the oncoming traffic. Just went up one of the bigger hills out here, had no problem keeping up. We're doing about 65 right now. Oh boy, that feels better than it did. Still feel I'm getting blown around. That's just because it's a beetle, you know, they're just not very aerodynamic and they get blown around. Anyway, let me put this down, finish my drive. Alright, I was up and back. It's like 5 miles. I also did some driving when I got to the exit up the road there. So we've got a little temperature, some RPMs. I don't know why, but my temperature's working today. But anyway, you can see that weird funky cooling system I had. It works. Actually works very well. It allows me to run a thinner oil. And thinner oil gives you better gas mileage, which is what we're going for here. Anyway, it was better out there on the highway than it used to be. A couple of passes. So that's nice. It doesn't mean I'm real super happy, but hey, it's a beetle. You know, you get used to driving the other cars and, oh well, it's a beetle.